Well, scientists are reporting that they've made some embryos in the lab that have DNA from 3 people, 1 man and 2 women. Now, the DNA from one of the women is a very tiny fraction of the total DNA, so you can't really say 3 parents here. The goal of this is to find a way to keep children from inheriting some really terrible diseases that are caused by some defects in a certain kind of DNA. This technique would replace that DNA with healthy DNA so the child will not inherit these terrible diseases. One big question here is safety. When you go in and manipulate the DNA that could be inherited by a child, that raises some concerns. The interesting thing here is that DNA would be inherited not only by the child, but could be passed on to the child's child. It enters the DNA legacy that gets passed down. So that makes the safety concern even more pressing. This is very early research. The research here, research in Britain, both very early research. This is a long way from being offered to anybody. No children resulted from this technique, and no kids will be born from this technique for a long time. It raises questions about not only is it safe for children, but whenever you start altering the DNA that will be inherited by future generations, it raises some ethical questions. Is that a proper thing to do? Do we know enough to do that safely? Is this the first step on a slippery slope to altering DNA maybe for other reasons? You know, maybe we'll go beyond blocking disease inheritance, and someday could this be a step toward maybe altering DNA so that a kid will have a certain eye color or be athletic or things like that. There are ethicists who worry that this could be a first step on that slippery slope toward designer babies.